We've still got quite a few seats in doubt, Kath, 16 of them. So a tenth of the lower house. We still don't know which MPs will represent them. But I want to take you to two seats that independents are hoping to win, in one case retain. Let's start with Goldstein. That's the seat held by Zoe Daniel in Melbourne. Now, Zoe Daniel on election night had quite a healthy looking lead, about 3,000 votes ahead. She had about 51.7% of the vote. But as the postal votes have been counted, it is becoming clear that she is facing a tough battle to hold that seat. This is a seat that is still in doubt, but what we're seeing on the postal votes that have been counted, about 10,000 of them, is that Zoe Daniel's only getting about 35% after preferences, and that has basically cancelled out the election night lead. So she's ahead of her predecessor, former Liberal MP who's recontesting the seat. She's ahead of Tim Wilson by 95 votes. If the trend on postal votes continues, it won't be long until Tim Wilson takes the lead in that seat. So Zoe Daniel is, that is a seat of Goldstein still in doubt, but Zoe Daniel at the moment is tracking to be behind, although we haven't seen all the postal votes just yet.
And if it ended up that way, that would sort of be in contrast to what we've seen to quite a few of the other independents regaining. I know Bradfield's still in play, but quite a few of the others have retained their seats.
Yeah, we're seeing a situation that seems like the Sydney independents have fared slightly better than the Melbourne ones. Monique Ryan in Kooyong is also not in a position where we can say she's definitely retained that seat. She's in a better position than Zoe Daniel at the moment, but we can't say for sure that she's retained that seat, whereas Allegra Spender saw a big primary vote swing to her. Zali Steggall kept roughly a similar primary vote, but this is her third time, so she saw that swing toward her last election and she's held her ground. Sophie Scomps in McKellar as well, but then Bradfield is the other seat we should talk about. Nicolette Buller is running for that seat. She ran last time. But again, in this seat, the position of the Liberal candidate there, Giselle Kaptarian, has improved since election night. So, again, on the night, Nicolette Buller was looking actually quite likely to win. She had 51.2% of the two candidate preferred. She had a lead of about 2,200. But the postal votes are breaking again quite strongly for the Liberals in that seat.
And that's interesting because she had a very good go against Paul Fletcher in 2022 while she didn't take the seat, the retiring MP, which is why it's vacant there. But that she made a lot of ground there, which is why I think there was a lot of narrative around her being quite a strong candidate.
So I still think this seat's going to be very close. Both candidates could win. The flow of preferences is... the flow of postal votes is not as strongly toward the Liberals as we've seen in Goldstein. So Nicolette Buller's at the moment about 500 votes ahead. That one could well come down to the wire.
OK, what counting is continuing today then?
So what we're seeing, obviously, the postal votes, as we're talking about them, are starting to be reported in a significant number. The other thing that's happening today that's interesting is the Electoral Commission are now undergoing what's called, we talk about the two-candidate preferred count in seats. They're actually doing a three-candidate preferred count in quite a long list of seats, and the purpose of that is to work out who has come first and second, because there are a lot of seats that we're not quite clear on. 3 seats in doubt that's happening in Ryan. It's unclear. The Greens are in the final 2, but it's unclear if it's Labor or the Liberal Party running second in Flinders and in Monash. So once we get those 3 candidate preferred counts in, it will become clearer who the top 2 are. That might clarify the position. The other thing, in some seats that aren't in doubt, but there is a battle for second place happening, we're getting a 3 candidate preferred count starting to come through, or that will start to come through there as well, including in Blaxland and Watson in southwestern Sydney, where independents that were backed by this Muslim vote group, they have come second on first preferences. It's not clear if they'll come second when the preferences are distributed. So we're trying to work out if they will run in second place. Now, Labor's won those seats, but I think if the independents come second, they will take that as quite a strong victory, and a number of other seats as well. But postal votes are starting to be reported now. 16 seats in doubt. Clarity is starting to come, but some of these seats are very, very close and will take a while. OK,
when it comes to the Greens, we know that they lost 2 of those key seats in Brisbane. It's been quite a surprise there. But when it comes to the Senate, we've heard Adam Bandt, the leader, who's, I believe his seat is still in question in Melbourne. That's yet to play out. But it looks like they are going to be quite influential in the Senate. The government is going to have to, what have they got, 26 or 27 seats in the Senate? The coalition's one behind at this stage. So Labor is going, or more than that, sorry. Labor is going to have have to deal with either the Greens or a crossbencher to get legislation, or the coalition, to get legislation through this time around. So it's a different look Senate.
It's a different look Senate. It potentially is an easier Senate for Labor. Just one very quick comment on the lower house Greens, because the Greens, particularly Max Chandler-Mather in Griffith and Stephen Bates in Brisbane, their primary vote is down a little bit. But the bigger reason that they are in trouble is because of the swing from the coalition to Labor. It's pushed Labor in, and it's pushed the coalition to third place there, and it's meaning they're getting excluded and helping Labor get elected. So they remain competitive in a primary vote sense in those seats, but the order of exclusion really matters in seats like that. Having said that, the Greens may have more influence in the next parliament because of the position they have on the Senate. You know, it's looking like the Greens, if I just pull up the national figures, you know, the Greens plus Labor are on track. This is not confirmed. We're on track to have a majority just between them. So yes, the Labor could turn to the Greens, do a deal with them to get bills through. Of course, as you say, they could do a lot of deals with the coalition, and we do see that, right? We see a lot of bills pass in a bipartisan way with the Greens opposing them. So there's two paths through there. And it sidelines people like David Pocock and One Nation because the negotiation to get bills through the rest of the crossbench becomes, well, very, you know, you really do need the Greens on site. You need the Greens or the coalition to get anything through. So that leaves David Pocock in a less influential position on the floor of Parliament. Obviously, though, we've seen him exert quite a bit of influence even when he's not the deciding vote in the chamber. So, you know, and I think he even said that yesterday, right? You know, if he's in the building, he's exerting influence, and it doesn't matter if he's the deciding vote or not.
Well, I guess it's about keeping government to account, isn't it? I think we're speaking to David Sharma about that, the New South Wales Senator earlier. Any other interesting bits in the Senate that has taken your eye? So
there's a few. I mean, there's some interesting battles going on for the 5th and 6th position. In New South Wales, it looks like Perrin Davey, the National, could be in some trouble there. So we're looking at, in some states, we call it a 4-2 result. 4 seats on the left of politics between Labor and the Greens, and only 2 on the Conservative side. That's what's helping Labor plus the Greens get to majority. And of course, because Senate terms are 6 years long, they go to election cycles. It gives them a structural advantage going into the 2027/8 election as well, because there are some states that they look like they will pick up on the left side of politics, the progressive side of politics. There will be probably 4 senators. New South Wales is one of those states. Victoria is another. Other key players, the 6th seats, people like Malcolm Roberts and Jackie Lambie, it's going to take a while to know if they've been re-elected, because we're going to have to wait for some of those preference counts.